Hey everybody, welcome back to the Serious Science channel and welcome to a new video. So welcome to February's reading journal video. However, you can see that it's already done. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen yesterday, Saturday, I'm recording this on the same day that it's going up, that I recorded this entire reading journal setup video yesterday as per usual, and I just plan to voice over it and speed it up. However, when I went to go in and edit the footage, I realized that all the footage was extremely grainy. And if you know anything about making videos or photography or anything like that, grain is just one of those things that you cannot fix. So unfortunately, that video was not usable. Even though that's sad, I decided that I'm going to just do this video differently this month and just walk you all through the spread and my thought process behind some of the pages, because I did do some new pages this month that I'm excited to talk about, and I guess in a way it's a blessing in disguise, because if you know anything about voiceovering, sometimes it's hard to like explain things when you're trying to just get like the clip done, and when things are sped up, it's like you're done with the page so fast that you don't really have time to explain the thought process behind it. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. But anyway, welcome to February's reading journal video. Here is the title page. I also put on my Instagram story yesterday that it's kind of amusing that the color scheme that I went for this month is very like spring, and it's only February and spring doesn't even start until next month in March. And then I also realized that the colors that I was using for this spread are very Easter themed, and Easter's not until April, so I'm just very early to spring this month. I just needed that kind of energy in my life, so I manifested it in the form of my reading journal. So let's just get into it. So here are the colors that I used for this month's spread. Again, very Easter themed, very springy. Again, I always have my my supplies that I use for these videos linked in the playlist for these reading journal videos. So if you want to find out where to get these, just go look at the playlist description. I get them from Michael's though, so just visit your local Michael's. There's a section undoubtedly where there's like 100 different colors, so go wild. Anyway, here is the February reading journal title page. Like I said, I love this quote. This quote came from Feels by Kaylin Nicholson. That was my last read of last month, but I just wanted to put it on the title page because I think that it was so empowering. And it says, have audacity to believe in yourself and your abilities. You are on your way. And yeah, I just kind of went with a theme of growth, which is why we have this little sapling here, and just like, you know, pretty dainty floral things. So anyway, moving on, here is my TBR page. I really like how this page came out, and I like how I kind of staggered the flowers, or like the saplings, to kind of come down this way. So the first book that I'm planning on reading is actually a requested review from the author. It is The Reflections of Queen Snow White. I was actually just listening to the audiobook. I have it on audio, and it is by David Meredith. So I'm about halfway through this book right now, and I am really enjoying it, so be on the lookout for that review on my blog. So moving on to the other two books that I have written down here, I have This Will Be My Undoing, and this is by Morgan Jerkins. Here's the book right here. And the other one is Their Eyes Are Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. Here's this book. These are my February Black History Month books, and I'm really excited to be reading these. One of which, Their Eyes Are Watching God, is a classic, and one of these that I just think is going to break my heart. But I'm really excited to learn from this book and just like feel heard in the sense of like internalized racism and things like that that this book deals with. So super excited for both of those. And then I try to read 4 books a month, so I put in here at the bottom Legendary, which is Caraval number 2. I don't know if I'm actually going to get to this, just because these 3 books will probably take me quite a bit of time to read and thoroughly review and things like that, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get to Legendary this month, but if I do, you guys will see yet another video review just to keep up with the trend, because I did a video review of Caraval, and yeah, so that'll be coming if I get to it. And here is a new spread page that I decided to go with this month. It is my February goals page. So I have recently been making a lot of goals for myself with my 2 different platforms, basically just maintenance things that I need to get done but haven't made time for. So here they are. This is my booktube, my blog goals, and basically walking through it. For booktube, I desperately need a new channel icon. I'm sick of looking at the channel icon that I took in like summer this year or last year. So desperately need a new channel icon, and I need to make that happen. I'm trying to close caption all of my videos before I publish them and hit 200 subscribers. I would just like to take a moment. I'm glad that I have a moment to talk to you all. Thank you all so much for subscribing, and I think the channel right now is at like 170 something subscribers as of when I'm recording this. And it's kind of interesting because I have literally just been getting passive emails that people are subscribing to me, and it freaks me out because I'm like, I haven't even posted in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, who's talking about me and why? And thank you. So however you found me, let me know down below, and thank you for subscribing. So moving on to my blog goals, I have one main goal that I really want to get done in February. Basically, sometime in December, I got the idea of creating a page on my blog of author testimonials and like just spotlights, so whenever me or Sierra Sinisher, my blog, is featured on some other platform, I would have a place to put it on my blog and say, oh, go check out this article that I was featured in. And I just wanted to make that page, like that 2-in-1 page, just so that it's kind of like a portfolio builder. If an author ever like finds my blog and is kind of going back and forth as to if they want to like send me the book to review. So what I was doing late last month is that I was creating an author feedback form on Google Forms. And basically, I just want to finish that form and send it out to all the authors that I have reviewed for in the past, just so that I can get their feedback. And the goal for having this author feedback form is to build the testimonial page where I can say, like, this is what authors think when I review their books. This is a really big goal for me. The form is pretty much done. I just need to polish it and make sure that it makes sense, and then I will send that out. And then that kind of corresponds with this one where it says publish testimonials and features page, because I want to get that done. But aside from that, I also have the goals of experimenting with new blog graphics on Canva. And right now I'm currently on the free trial of Canva Pro, so I want to take advantage of that before I have to pay for it so I can cancel it. My blog might change up a little bit in the next month or so. Not anything too drastic, but I'm just trying to kind of just make it a little bit more crisp. And then similarly, hit 200 followers on the blog. It's kind of interesting because my blog and my booktube are pretty on par with like the milestones. We have like 170 here on booktube, and I have like 159 or something like that on my blog. So we're getting pretty close on both platforms, 200 subscribers, 200 followers. So if February could be the month that those things happen, that would be amazing. SierraShinister.com. But yeah, that was my February's goals page, and I really like the spread. I want to do this more often. I love how I wrote this up here. I was super proud of that. But moving on, I have this is a new spread for me too, my February bookish lessons. So what I mean by this spread, it might not be intuitive, so let me explain. Basically, I have found that in the last month, I typically have like really impactful things that I get out of books, and I write them down and I write them in my reviews and stuff, but sometimes I would just like to have like a collection of things that I feel like I learned from the books I read that month. And especially this was inspired by the fact that I am reading these 2 very, very powerful books this month. I just wanted to have a page where I can just like write out what I think I learned and how I can apply that, if there are transferable skills or just transferable knowledge in other books that I read in the future. So this is like my bookish lessons page. I don't really know how full it's going to get. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this ends up at the end of February. Okay, and this is the second to last page. This is my February reading calendar, and this is probably the page that I am most proud of, just because I think it was so cute. I think it was so cute, and I just love how I did it. I don't know what else to say. If you've never seen me do the spread before, basically I try to not schedule my reading, but I like to keep myself on track by saying, okay, I want to be done with this book by this day of this week, so that way I'm on track for completing the 3 or 4 books that I want to read for the month, especially because February is just a little bit shorter than other months. So I'm going to go in and assign every book that I read a color this month, and that's why it says book and color here. And then basically what I do is I just kind of highlight the numbers of the days that it took me to read the book. and then I can see like how long it took me to read this book, and then I can think about why or whatever. So that's just how I use my reading calendar, and I haven't done this in a couple months, so I'm glad to have this be back. And yeah, I just really like the design of this page. I think it was really cute. And lastly, we have the February wrap-up. I decided to go with something that was very springy once more, so it's like a big stalk, and the leaves here correspond with the 3 different things that I include in my wrap-up. So if you've never seen that, let me skip back to my January one real quick so you can see it. So here's what I do, like far as my wrap-up spreads. I do however many books I read, which would go on this first leaf. And then, oh, I didn't write this in here. This is supposed to be across 869 pages, so the number of pages I read in total, that would be on this leaf here. And then however many genres I read in the month, and that would be on this leaf here. And then on the bottom, I do like my breakdown of how many 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 star books that I read that month. So that's how I plan on using this page. So there you have it. This is a very brief version of my February reading journal setup video. I'm very sorry that the original way that I do this video did not work out this month. However, that's just life, and the back end of YouTube is running into technical problems like that you don't see coming and then you don't find out until post. So it happens, and I decided to just make the best of it and do it a little different. So things will hopefully be back to schedule and normal for March's reading journal setup video, but let me know if you like this better, because I don't know, maybe we can, change it up depending on what you all like. So thank you so much for watching. If you did, be sure to let me know what you think of it below, and beside that, I will see you all on the channel next Sunday. Bye, everybody.